There it is.
There we go. Okay, there we go. I wasn't sure this was going to work. Typically, I work on 2 screens and I'm down to 1. So we just wanted to welcome everybody. Thank you all for being here. We're excited to have Craig here from JourneyMail. And yeah, oh, here's our thank you actually. So thank you all. We are excited to have this group actually focused on insurance. And I think we have a lot of new faces this time around. So we've been running this group. I don't know if you want to do intros, Danielle. But we've been running this group all year. We've had a few events and then we kind of got a bit zoomed out and kind of picking it back up and around the holidays, and we're going to have a bit more momentum for next year.
Yeah, zooming out was definitely a thing for the last couple of months, wasn't it? I feel like from Dreamforce until now, we were kind of like, oh, I need no more Zooms for a minute. So
it's been interesting, I think, with Salesforce because, you know, I think 2020 and 2019 were big years on insurance. And then I think we kind of lost a bit of momentum on the insurance side. And I think we're getting a bit more of a spotlight in our space. So I'm excited for 2022. And I think we're gearing up for some more events. So definitely mark your calendars. We have something for January and for February, and I'll let you touch on those, Danielle.
Yeah, so I'm a Salesforce MVP, and I've been able to rally some of my other MVPs that are in the insurance space. And we're going to come in and do just a really quick panel discussion on all of the 2022 initiatives that they are seeing in the insurance space. So I'm really excited about having a couple of the cohorts that I have on my in the MVP world to come in and share all of their knowledge. And some of them actually work for insurance companies or carriers or agencies, and there's others who are consultants like I am who work on behalf of, and so I'll be able to share some of the types of client initiatives that I'm seeing from a trending perspective going for 2022. And then we had a wonderful woman who won the Golden Hoodie at Dreamforce. She's actually from Liberty Mutual. She is a totally kick-ass lady, and we're really excited to introduce you guys to her and give a little Q&A when she comes here in February. We're going to be joining with the WIT team on that one too. So the Women in Technology group is going to join us for that as well.
Okay, so the golden hoodie, the insurance style, this meeting will be for that golden hoodie. Is it real?
Well, it's the woman who won it at Dreamforce. There was 3 people specifically at Dreamforce that won it this year, and she's one of them. She's from the Liberty Mutual team, and so she's going to come in and talk to us about how she got it and why it's important and what it meant to her, and just kind of talk about that a little bit. So,
but for women, not man like me.
It was a woman.
Everybody's welcome, but everybody is welcome to the event. And I was going to say, I was joking with Danielle about some of the clients that we've been seeing recently, and there's just been this theme that we keep seeing in the insurance space where all of the clients have these massive digital transformation initiatives and they want them done yesterday. So I'm very excited to have our MVP panel come in and kind of really talk about their 2022 initiatives and what they're looking to focus on and some of their priorities for the next year. So it'll be nice to kind of hear what they're seeing and then, you know, kind of match up with what we're all probably seeing. So. Oh, sorry, that was us. So we'll hand it off to you, Craig, to kind of jump in with JourneyMail.
Yeah, I'll kind of do a little intro on Craig as well. We kind of go way back, if you will. He and I worked together. I think I actually knew you before I joined the consulting firm that we worked at together, just kind of through the tech ecosystem in Indianapolis. But Craig has worked on Marketing Cloud for a very long time, and we actually worked on the Connector project together back in the day between Marketing Cloud and Salesforce. And we were very lucky to be on a lot of Journey Builder projects. As it was going up, we had some interesting interesting projects, to say the least, that we got to do. And so Craig has been a developer, architect, a little bit of everything. You're solution architect, and then also kind of a little bit more on the techie side too. So almost like a tech arc to a certain extent. And I think he just recently joined JourneyMail, and I, over the course of the last few years, have seen a lot of people who have gone through Journey Builder and wanting to be able to send text messages and wanting to be able to send emails. And one of the items that was really hard was, how do we incorporate the direct mail piece into the journeys? There are people who may be preferred to reach that way, or there might be some, especially when we talk about some of these regulatory spaces where it is compliance, you have to mail something out when you go through a journey. From a customer lifecycle perspective, there's just certain touch points that are going to have to be mailed in some way, shape, or form. Then they're actually going to need physical hard copies. And so this is just a really cool example of how this can work. And Craig, I'll let you kind of take it from there. But thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I have been doing Marketing Cloud now work for 12 years. Seems like it's gone quickly, but yeah, so I think actually, Danielle, your company was a client of mine. That's how we actually met. And then you came over to the consulting side of things. But yeah, here's a rundown of some of the stuff, some of the highlights. I actually have kind of a unique background in the fact that I do a lot of these custom integrations and what we call hub apps or app exchange apps for Marketing Cloud. But most recently, I designed JourneyMail as a consultant, and then 2 years ago they called me as they were getting ready to go live and said, "Hey, we need a product manager." And I was like, "Sure." So I left Levd and came over to Quad, and yeah, it's been a little bit over 2 years now. But in terms of just Quad, again, I don't know if you guys know the name, but we're actually a very large company, almost 16,000 employees, and primarily in the print space. I say primarily with an asterisk. About 5 years ago, maybe even closer to 6, they started a large initiative to move towards the digital side of things, as well as just becoming a full marketing partner. And so in terms of our services, we kind of do a lot of the stuff. We don't do Salesforce implementations, but we do have a partner that we do work with. But from catalogs and even media buying, we own Rise Interactive, so for SEO, and we own Periscope, which is a large agency out of Minneapolis. But yeah, so that's a lot of what we do. I'm going to hit you with a NASCAR slide. So we work with a lot of large companies. And then I'm going to hit you with an ugly slide, and I love and hate this slide, but as it stands, Quad is actually the largest customer of the United States Postal Service. I guess the running joke is every American receives a piece of mail from Quad every 2 weeks, and most of that is in the kind of the catalog and the direct mail space, but we shuttle a lot of stuff around, and yeah, so that's Quad in a nutshell, but more specifically JourneyMail. So that's my baby. And so what JourneyMail is it is a Salesforce certified app exchange extension for the Marketing Cloud. It does not work for Sales and Service Cloud yet, but basically it works within Journey Builder and essentially adds a new channel to Journey Builder so that you can send and trigger direct mail, essentially the same way that you would an email or an SMS, or add somebody to a digital display. It's fully automated, so that again, it's a little strange to say that to some digital marketers, but when it comes to traditional direct mail, a lot of that is manual still. And so what JourneyMail does is it removes kind of all of the integration steps and all of that kind of stuff. And once you set it up and you fire your campaign within Journey Builder, JourneyMail takes over everything and essentially automates it. So that's been quite a change for traditional direct mail campaigns. I'm not going to bore you guys with how digital marketing works because you guys already know all that. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through an interesting use case. So this is a customer of ours. It's actually a retail, but I really like it because of what they ended up doing with JourneyMail. But HEB is a grocer out of Texas, and they were going through the process of just identifying who was lapsing. And so what they ended up doing was building a journey that went the digital route first. When it comes to direct mail is a lot more expensive than digital, and so they decided to go ahead and start with the digital, which is a good choice. So they went down the email path, and then they also went down Catalina. So Catalina is the point of sale system that you get the receipts when you're checking out. They started introducing these same coupon codes inside of that as well. And so if all these call to actions had kind of no in them, ultimately it came down to JourneyMail. And so at that point, we were able to trigger postcards, which I put on the previous slide, but to offer them back. And they are able to get a 40% retention rate on the campaign. So this was a kind of a really interesting use case, going across not only just the digital, but also the point of sale channels. So for trying to explain, like, what is a JourneyMail project like? It's very similar to an email, and so essentially up front we will do help you guys with the design template, and so we'll need your creative agency to ultimately supply us with the postcard or whatever the bifold is or whatever, and then we'll go ahead and work with you guys to create a journey. So this will be a test journey, because obviously we want to get the test data flowing through and make sure everything's wired up and nothing's crisscrossed, and then when it comes to the execution and actually printing and mailing the piece, the quad systems will take over and actually print and deliver all of that. And I'll go ahead and unpack all this stuff a little bit in more detail, but obviously, like I said, we start with a template, and so because we are printing fully digital, and again, I don't know much about direct mail, but there's two ways of doing it. One, you can kind of pre-print everything, and then you can inkjet or laser names on and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not what we do here. So JourneyMail is fully digital, meaning that when we go to print, I'll just say the postcards. The postcards come out in huge, like poster-sized pieces of paper, and then they actually use those big guillotines to slice and chop them all up. Well, when you look at those pieces of paper, you can see I think there's 10 postcards on every sheet. You'll be able to see just completely different looking postcards. And so the real true kind of, again, this sounds a little strange to the digital group, the real true innovation that happened when they were rolling out JourneyMail was that we take our customers' postcards and actually print them all together. So it's called ganging, and there's some technical hurdles when it comes to that because of the billing and the mailing and all the postage, I guess, get applied to it. But the short of it is that when it comes to the template, we can put essentially anything in it that we need. And this piece that we're looking at here is actually for Kasasa. So Kasasa is a FinServ. They're a marketing, kind of an execution type of company. They're a SaaS. And the game changer for them when they moved to JourneyMail was the fact that prior to JourneyMail, they had to tell us, hey, we just sold this new campaign to, and again, this is a Freedom Institution postcard, and we had to onboard Freedom Institution, and that meant getting their logo and do some color work and all that kind of stuff for the piece. The way it works now with JourneyMail, they do that configuration inside of Marketing Cloud, and then they give us a URL to a print-ready logo. And so what that means is that when they sell this to a customer, they don't have to tell me anything. They just literally just swap out, update the data, and they'll execute the Journey Builder campaign for that customer, and the data flows through. And then when we see this new logo, JourneyMail is designed to actually grab that logo, bring it down, and we will print it essentially in real time. The reason why I highlight this, is, especially within the FinServ space, is we do work with some insurance companies that have massive headshot libraries. So when they would, we have got some customers that when they onboard a new employee, there's a whole process to get them into the quad system so that we can send all the letters and mailers that go out on behalf of them. But for the folks that have converted over to JourneyMail, they do that all inside of Marketing Cloud. They don't tell us. Congratulations on being hired as Mr. Agent. But yeah, that personalization flows through, the print piece will render, and off it goes. And so again, that's been a huge shift and a paradigm change, simply because they don't need to tell us, when they're onboarding a new employee or even a new version of a piece. So in terms of the kind of just the complexities of, again, this is, direct mail. So in the years past, this kind of onboarding of new customers or even new employees was very labor intensive because everything needs to be checked, right? So within JourneyMail, I created what we call just our online proofing or previewer, so that you can actually look at the rendered piece in real time. So if anybody's used test and preview, it may or may not be very, very similar because it is. And so on the left-hand side, you'll see, again, this is data right out of a data extension. And if you use the blue preview proof, you can go ahead and see it. It takes about 4 to 5 seconds, but ultimately you'll see on the right hand side, this is a rendered letter. This is a Cumulus financial letter template that we put together. And the last thing I'll highlight is that little tiny override button at the top. What that button allows you to do is if you're sitting down with a creative person and they want to know, hey, how long, can we put this sentence in without changing customer data? You can go in and override this and ultimately update the template to see how it's going to fit. So when it comes to new images and all that kind of stuff, all you got to do is hit the override button, paste in the new URL, and preview it. So again, what was a very manual process, it was very painful, is extremely easy, and you see what you get. So when it comes to print day, all the testing and all of that review process is completed. So before I kind of switch gears, this is kind of, I'll say, the digital or the marketing cloud side of things. Are there any questions? I will take that as a no. All right. So JourneyMail can run in, I call it 2 different modes or production modes. The first one is what we have are called JourneyMail formats. So a format is literally the piece of paper that gets printed. Right now we have 2. One is a postcard, it's an oversized, and I'll show you some details on that. And we also have a number 10 letter, which has been critical within the FinServ space. But so what this means is for these 2 formats, and we do add some new ones. We create these every week. And so what happens is, as Journey Builder is firing at JourneyMail saying, here's all our transactions, our print queues fill up. And right now it's Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we print. And so tomorrow, the postcard and the letter will print. And in terms of invoicing, the way it works is at the end of the month, we have reports that run. And so our JourneyMail customers only are charged for what prints. So from a budgeting standpoint, it's very easy to essentially kind of start up these campaigns and execute them, as well as there's a flat rate. So again, I'll show you the postcard rates, but we don't have any minimums because, again, like we print every Wednesdays, and since everybody is kind of going together, we know we're going to have transactions, and so our production team will just print whatever is in queue. And so again, this has been a big change for anybody who's done direct mail campaigns. You don't need to fund your postage account or anything like that. It's very similar to kind of a super message, but yeah, we do invoice at the end of the month. So and this is, again, it's an all-in price. So if you send 100 postcards, you'll get an invoice for those 100. Speaking of post.
Question on your timing. So I'm just trying to think through some of the insurance use cases that I've had with other clients actually very recently. So there's obviously the marketing portion of it, so that, if you have brokers or agents that are trying to send off to their people, they're able to put those people into a queue, and then they've got your, and they would go out on a marketing basis from week to week. From a, kind of a policyholder perspective, if you're thinking of some of the compliance pieces that would be needing to go out when you buy a new policy, as an example, and you get that terms and conditions and the packet this thick. Sometimes it feels like, of all of your information. So then that just all queues up and goes out every week. Do you have the option of potentially doing it more than once a week? Or at this point, is it only once a week?
Right now, our volume is only once a week. We do have a large, well-known name that's coming on board that will hopefully require us to actually print more frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going live soon with I'll call it FinServ. It's FinServ at banking, and they have notifications that need to go out. They're not necessarily these huge massive, binders of data. These are kind of just the notification single page. And we figured out that, because again, they have to be in home by 30 days. With the lead time for postage and everything like that, in some scenarios it'll be kind of close. We have to think about like mountaintops and the islands out and wherever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should be okay within the 30-day range. But then also we are spitballing the idea of actually going first class for some of these use cases.
Okay.
Which obviously would get you in home anywhere between 3 to 5 days or 2 to 5 days. So if there's anything that needs to be quicker than that for a faster turnaround, then the postage side of things might be where we speed things up.
Cool. Thanks, Craig.
Mm-hmm. All right. So in terms of this postcard, like I said, it's 5.5 by 9 3/4, so it is big in the mailbox. Again, here's a lot of the stats for the paper and things like that. But for 47.5 cents, that's all in. And so again, if you're just sending reminders for something like that and you only need to send a couple hundred, that's fine, and they'll go out with everybody else. Our letter, which is probably more interesting to the insurance side of things, that is at 56 cents. It is full color front and back. So again, you wouldn't be able to do policy type of multi-sheet type of letters using this package. Please wait for my next slide. But the other interesting thing about this letter package is you can actually personalize the outside. So there in the bottom right hand corner, you can see where we put the person's name on the outside of it. So really stands out in the mailbox, as well as really is a good use case for the notifications. Like I mentioned, the customer that came to us, their notifications are more for like loans and just notifications on mortgages and that kind of stuff. So they don't have kind of the nice marketing pushes, but or messaging, but they're able to personalize it so that they can make sure that folks actually open it. So the last, I guess the other mode that JourneyMail can run in is what we call just custom. And so what this means is it's essentially everything else. And so if this is something that is like a bifold reminder for some kind of open enrollment or whatever, that could be a one-time campaign that runs sometime in November. That's fine. JourneyMail can still handle bring the data across from the marketing cloud, but this again is more of a classic procurement process, meaning that we'll need to know, hey, we're going to end up sending 112,000 of these pieces, and so we'll do the math on that and give you an estimate and do it all up front. And then when it comes to execution day, we'll print it and do all the normal things that we do. But this is essentially kind of a catch-all for whatever needs to be done. So are there any questions kind of on the output of the direct mail side of things? I mean, I don't know direct mail all that well as a digital marketer, but the postcard and the letter have been the most requested formats, and so that's why we're able to keep a cadence of weekly. And like I said, we will be hopefully in 2022 getting that cadence up a little higher as we bring on some of these big names.
Is there any sort of tracking that you have so that they know when the actual items dropped? I mean, is it just so that you would be able to, if you have things going through Journey Builder and the JourneyMail portion? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you have not seen this deck, okay? So I just wanted everybody to know that Danielle has not seen this deck. So appreciate the lead in. So yeah, so in terms of just the automation side of or the overall automation, so like I said, with Journey Builder being the execution side and pushing it through JourneyMail, what JourneyMail does is it will push back this mail tracking is one example. So this comes back with the estimated in-home window. So there'll be like a 7 to 11 day window that basically says this is when we think it's going to drop. And then because we're a partner of the USPS, they'd give us what's scan data on that on those barcodes. And so the day before, generally, we will get what's called a final scan, essentially saying that, hey, tomorrow Craig is going to get his letter. And what we do is we update a sendable data extension inside of Marketing Cloud so that you can build follow-up journeys on top of that. So again, kind of gives you that full loop back. The other thing that we do include inside of your Salesforce Marketing Cloud account is another data extension, and it's for address updates. So we do scrub those inbound transactions for change of address notifications that can happen through the USPS, as well as just corrections. And so if any of that is found, again, we will update sendable data extension inside of Marketing Cloud. It's kind of up to you guys to figure out, do we want to update our CRM or not, but that data does go back. The other, and again, this is a future enhancement, hopefully coming out in Q1, is our flow codes. So flow codes are essentially smart QR codes. And what I mean by that is when somebody interacts with a flow code, it will actually put a transaction in another sendable data extension inside of your Marketing Cloud that basically says, hey, Greg just scanned this flow code or QR code, and that you can use that to do follow-up engagements or whatever you need to do within Journey Builder itself. Here's a simple example of just simply waiting 14 days. Did somebody scan the flow code or not? So again, this is just more first person data that you can use to create follow-up campaigns. Now for the money side of things. So in terms of pricing, so essentially it's a three-legged stool. And what I mean by that is we do have a subscription fee. It's $15,000 per year. If you check our competitors, we are lower. We also have an initial onboarding and setup fee, and that's kind of where I get involved. So I do the onboarding. Essentially what that covers is the installation of the app and all that is very, very simple, but the development of these templates. So the one thing that customers cannot do is they can't develop their own templates for these campaigns. So our quad development team will go ahead and build those out. So as we're working through kind of that classic waterfall of similar to rolling out an email, the quad development team will go ahead and build out those templates, and then we use those that previewer and also test journeys to make sure that everything's looking correct and rendering properly. But the third, I guess, leg of that pricing model is just the monthly invoice for whatever you guys send. So because of the fact that in theory customers could send just 100 postcards per month, we do have to charge for that development of those templates up front, just to make sure that we can keep our per unit price as low as possible, and essentially kind of just recoup all the development fees up front. So the onboarding fees themselves just historically have been in the $5,000 to $15,000 range. So again, pretty similar to what an email would be to roll it out. So
from the subscription perspective, is that like an enterprise wide or is it like per business unit, per mid? Like how does that?
It is enterprise across, so it doesn't matter how many business units. We'll go ahead and just set you up, and yeah, essentially that subscription fee is kind of the Salesforce payment, so they can get their cut for the app exchange. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, that does it for me. I know I went over it just a few minutes, but I guess, are there any other questions? I can actually do a demo, but again, we've been doing some end of year market research, and the funny thing that we're learning is that when our JourneyMail customers, go live and they're doing their campaigns, their favorite feature of JourneyMail is actually Journey Builder. I don't like to say that as a product manager, but when it comes to just the change that their teams are going through, they get most excited about Journey Builder. And so JourneyMail itself, it's a channel, right? And so other than tools like the previewer, and we have some small reporting and things like that, it's very similar to sending an email. So yeah, I guess if anybody has any potential use cases that you just want to kind of unpack, I will say, from just kind of going a little bit technical, the way that JourneyMail was architected is that if you have data in a sendable data extension, JourneyMail can get to it. And so when it comes to retrofitting a journey, you don't need to change the journey itself. You can just take JourneyMail, plug it in, and then on the configuration side, assuming that there's a sendable data extension, we should be able to get to it and personalize the piece accordingly. So yeah, I guess let me know if anybody has any use cases they want to go through, as well as, because if you guys are doing demos, I do have the ability to set you guys up for on a what we call our demo account. Obviously you can't print anything or anything like that, but it will give you the icon inside of Journey Builder, so you can use it to drag it over and again just use it for mock-ups or whatever you guys are potentially working through with clients and things like that. There's also some dummy letters, and there's 2 letters and a postcard that get deployed. So again, it can help highlight just what JourneyMail can do.
Cool. We did have a question from Octavia. It looks like it says, does a user need the growth version of Datarama, or will standard work for JourneyMail data?
So the way that the Datarama, I guess, integration, it actually uses Salesforce Marketing Clouds, because obviously what we do is we drop the mail tracking data extension inside of your account. And then you would use the Datarama connector to grab that data extension and push it over. I don't remember the 2, I think the Marketing Cloud connector works for both versions of Datarama, right? I've never really worried about it. So I assume it doesn't, it works with both, but I guess, does that answer the question?
I think so. I don't know, Octavia, is that good? Yes, thank you. Cool.
I had a question, so very selfishly, so I know this is very Marketing Cloud oriented, but you had alluded to the idea that this might roll out to Sales Cloud and Service Cloud in the future. Do you have a timeline on what that might look like? Because in the insurance use case, one, in general, JourneyMail just would be amazingly powerful. And then there's some small agencies or even brokerages that maybe aren't on Marketing Cloud that would really benefit. So any timeline? Tease us.
Yes, sadly there aren't. Yeah, I will say that I did go through the process of working with the distributed marketing team. So the idea of taking using distributed marketing and being, I don't want to say the UI, but the interface, so that somebody can fire or trigger a direct mail piece through distributed marketing. We did confirm all that. So that is right now, I'd say if the customer does have distributed marketing, obviously that means all you got to do is update the Journey Builder side of things. And I will say what the agent wouldn't see is they don't have an interface to like, update the letter, do the personalization that they can do within an email. But if it is kind of like, I'll just say, a welcome, hey, congratulations on your new 401k. The email can be, personalized and all that kind of stuff. And then as long as that template for the, welcome letter, I'll call it, it can be personalized using the same data, then we can set up, that can be set up that way. So, but right now you got to have Marketing Cloud at the base.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions from anyone? I've got like wrapping my head around all of the use cases that this could use. It's kind of amazing.
It's funny. I mean, once you get it inside a Journey Builder, I mean, that's the kind of the hard part, I'd say, for most of the effort. And so, yeah, a lot of our customers that they're doing, from an internal digitalization standpoint, they're going through the process of taking their direct mail teams and they're basically just saying, hey, it doesn't matter the channel. We're more worried about the experience. And so one of our customers is a large insurance company, and that's what they're going through right now. It's the use cases that they're coming up with are powerful, to say the least. The ROI on them is mind-boggling, because again, I've been shocked again with essentially kind of the last 10 years, the first 10 years of doing Marketing Cloud, seeing the direct mail budgets. It's unbelievable. It's just shocking how it is expensive.
How big they are?
Yeah, how big they are. Yeah. And a lot of our customers, what they're doing now intelligently is using Journey Builder to essentially kind of do, bronze, silver, gold type of thing. Well, if it's a bronze customer, maybe we forego the reminder on the postcard type of thing. And so they're saving money on the direct mail side, and essentially kind of going purely digital for those folks. But when it comes to the high dollar, even on the retail side, the high dollar stuff, and triggering out a direct mail piece has the ROI has been substantial.
I could see that. I think even on particular business lines like Medicare, the direct mail would be so powerful, even on brand awareness and things like that. You know, we kind of see that a lot on our side.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of direct or Medicare and healthcare gov stuff. Yeah, it was interesting is that they were actually using the flow codes so you can go from offline to online, back online. Yeah, they're it's been a busy December for them. I don't feel bad.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to show this with us today. And I'm sure that some of us will probably be reaching out to you for that demo. So I'll make sure that your information gets put in when I'm also going to be uploading this recording to the community so that you all can reach out and play with it a little bit too, if people are interested in playing with it. Thank you for that opportunity. We appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure.
Cool.
All right.
All right, Miss Pony.
All right. Well, Danielle has a fun Christmas game for our holiday party outside of our insurance meeting today. Oh, here we go.
We're officially getting excited. Yes, it is the holiday season officially, and we were so thankful for all of you and all of your support over the last year. And so I just wanted to do a quick little holiday game. I actually played this last week at the holiday party for one of the women in technology groups, and it was really fun. And so I am going to basically, you guys are going to need your a piece of paper or something to be able to write down and finish say here as we kind of go. I have written down on my side what the end of the phrase is, and whoever gets the most points will get some gift cards, some Amazon gift cards that I'll be emailing out to all of you to help with some fun holiday gifts as you are coming up on this season. So all right, if everyone wants to either grab a notepad or text pad on their computer, or you can, if you actually physically write things down like I do with Sharpies and Post-it notes because I'm crazy, then grab one of those out, and you're going to finish my phrase is what it's called. So I'm going to again say the word, and then you are going to finish it, and it could be a one word or it could be a couple of words in order to finish this particular one. So the first word is snow. So if you finish my phrase, what says snow? I'm gonna try and go through these pretty quickly. The second one is tree. So finish my phrase, tree. The third one is Christmas. Christmas. Fourth one is Mary. Finish my phrase, Mary. Fifth one is white. White. All right, number 6, finish my phrase, gift. Oh, looks like I had a question. The first one was snow. All right, we are on number 7, golden. Number 8, silent. Number 9, bright. One, 2, 3. 8 was silent. Silent. And 9 was bright. 10 is reindeer. 11, jolly. Number 12, frosty. And finish my phrase, frosty. Next one is silver. Then we've got hot. Finish my phrase on hot. Family. Next one is red. "16, elf. "17, egg. Next one is Santa. And the last one is winter. Okay. Hopefully everyone got them all written down. So give yourself a point or a tick if you match my words that I have here. And then again, we'll tally them all up, and whoever has the most will get a Amazon gift card sent over to them. All right. So for the first one is snow, and I put snowfall. The next one was tree. I had tree tupper. Third one, Christmas. I put Christmas cookies. Number 4 was merry, and I put merry gentlemen. Comey, I see you smiling. I'm not sure if you've gotten any of them yet or not.
I haven't gotten any. And for tree, I couldn't think of anything. I wrote tree frog, which I knew it wouldn't happen, but I'm curious what other people wrote too, because mine have been so off.
I think you should lose a point for that one.
Right, agreed. And for Mary, I thought it was the person Mary, and then it clicked at some point earlier. I was like, oh, she means Mary, like Merry Christmas. And oh yeah,
Merry Christmas and Merry Gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's been great. I wonder how it's been for everybody else.
The next one I have was white, and so I put white Christmas. The next one was gift, and I put gift bags. Looks like we have somebody who finally got one. All right.
Yeah, only on White Christmas, I think. That was it.
The next one, golden. I put golden rings. 5 golden rings. Silent. Put silent night. The next one is bright. I put bright lights. Reindeer, and I put reindeer nose. Yeah, reindeer nose. Okay, I think we're on number 11. I've got Jolly Old Elf. Frosty. And how do you not get this one? The Snowman. Silver Bells. Hot, and I put hot cocoa. Family, put family dinner.
Oh no, I think we just, oh, there she is. Oh, I thought we lost you, Danielle.
I say, did I lose you?
Almost.
Red, and I put red stockings. I've got elf shoes. That's what I put. Elf shoes. Egg. I put eggnog. Next one, Santa. Put Santa hat. And last but not least, and Amy, you may have cheated, or you may, I won't say cheated on this one, but you were at the event that I had last week, and I thought this was very clever, so I kept it. Winter release.
I did not. I went with my original thought. I would not cheat.
I love Salesforce
Okay,
jokes.
how many did people get?
I got 7. That's it.
Okay, did anyone get more than 7? No. What was the most creative one outside of Tree Frog?
I do love winter release, so that was too good, too good.
And then I did tree stand because I was trying to keep it holiday, but I couldn't think of any. I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
Cool.
did have a leg up since I did play this last week. And they were like, no, it's holiday themed. I was like, okay. Oh, and for your golden, I put golden ticket because it's the only thing I could think of. Like,
Oh, I mean, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is kind of Christmassy, maybe, with a golden ticket. I don't know.
That's the only thing that came to my mind.
I do wish I could collect the answers. I got Elf on a Shelf was my elf one. And I do like that you switched.
One. Yeah, Elf on the Shelf.
I liked that you made it hot cocoa, not hot chocolate. You knew. It's like you knew.
That's one I actually did get was cocoa.
Oh.
Did it put me over the top, Pony? Did it put me over? Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Amy, if you want to send me a direct message with the email that you want the Amazon gift card sent to, I'll send it to that one.
Okay.
But thank you all for playing. It was fun.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you
so fun.
guys. That was awesome. I did not expect it. So it's even better when you expect nothing and you get something.
Well, happy holidays.
Yes,
holidays.
thank you. You guys as well, because I guess I won't talk to you. It's only 10 days or 11 days left on the countdown, right?
I know, crazy. Awesome. Well, I think that that kind of wraps us, right, Pony? We've got appreciate everyone's time and hope you all have a wonderful holiday. We'll see you guys.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for our events in our group. We put them on the calendar and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Awesome. And thanks again, Craig, for being here. Appreciate it. The JourneyMail is just really cool. So appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah, that was
Sounds
pretty
really
awesome.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Happy holidays.
Bye. Happy holidays, guys.